Mix Chris Page, founding executive director of Trans Faith, a multi-tradition, multiracial, multi-gender advocacy organization by and for people of transgender experience, reminds us that, quote, in transgender communities, when we remember our beloved dead, our siblings, our loved ones, our children who have been lost to anti-transgender violence, we are doing more than compiling statistics. We are reclaiming our history and remembering our community in the face of ongoing violence and humiliation, particularly against young trans women of color. Let us acknowledge that the homicides of trans people dying by homicide mirror the U.S. general population in many ways, including in 75% of anti-trans homicide, the method of death was by gunshot. This is in line with 77% of the general U.S. population. Like Rita Hester's death, so many anti-trans murders have no known perpetrators. 54% of anti-trans homicides remain unsolved, the same rate as the general U.S. population. More than half of U.S. homicides were of Black individuals. This year, at least 65% of trans victims were Black, mostly Black trans women and femmes. Additionally, 15% were Latina trans women or femmes, and 8% were Indigenous folks of multiple gender identities. The overwhelming number of homicides in the general U.S. population were aged 20 to 29 years old. The majority of trans deaths were also in this age range. As with prior years, the predominant gender of those who died were identified as trans women, 81%. 11% were identified as trans men, the highest of any year, and 9% were identified as non-binary. People were misgendered or misnamed at least 58% of the time by law enforcement or in the mainstream press. Many times, LGBTQ+ organizations compensate for this misgendering through using language of trans women or trans men, when the reality was that some of these individuals self-identified as trans femme, gender fluid, another gender. This year, at least 19% were homeless at the time of their deaths. Many were surviving through street economy. Internationally, we know that at least 58% of people this year were active sex workers. A staggering 64% died as a result of intimate partner violence or family violence. This rate is much higher than the general population, in which 20% of homicides are related to intimate partner violence. Tonight, as we listen to the names of those who have died due to anti-transgender violence, let us remember the unique stories and truths of those who died this year. In some cases, people died while trying to stop a crime from happening, including disrupting a robbery in progress, protecting another person from assault, and confronting an active shooter in the workplace. Remember, too, the additional deaths and the casualties of those who died by homicide who were with the trans person or non-binary person, who are not included in the official list of TDOR deaths. Tonight, we also are remembering Brandon Gowdy, the best friend of Tiana Alexander, who also died in a car with her. Fatima Yazin, a house guest of Jahira de Alto, who had taken Fatima in to provide safety from an abusive relationship, also died with Jahira.